Okay, welcome to the channel. I was going to tell you how I got to be able to pay for my medications and for my medical care. And it was an organization called the Disabled American Veterans. Yes, the DAV. They put me in touch with the Veterans Administration, the VA. Not only did they put me in touch with them, but they helped me fill out the forms. They told me what documents I needed to show that I was eligible. They got me to send them, for example, a copy of my DD-214 before I even had to go to the hospital for my surgery, so they had a copy of that. And when the time came that I needed that copy, it was there. The VA would not have taken me. I hadn't been able to get a hold of a copy of my DD-214. So all I had to do was get in touch with the DAV, and they sent me that document, and I sent it to the VA. To make a long story short, I was able to pay for who knows how many thousands or tens of thousands of medical care and medications that are still being paid for. I was able to have those funded through the Veterans Administration. I've never had to be hospitalized under the VA, but it's very possible that they'd even pay for my hospitalizations. I don't know, but I do know that almost all of my medications are paid by the VA, and that's something that I am now older than 65. So I do have my Medicare pays for part of my medications in some cases, but the percentage that Medicare pays is so small that it's laughable compared to the percentage paid by the VA. I still have to pay a percentage, but it's so small, and I just thank God for the VA every day of my life, of what's left of my life, and for my medications also, because I hear people saying, how am I going to pay for my medications? Am I going to have to go to Canada to be able to afford these medications? I don't have to go to Canada. All I have to do is rely on the VA. So there it is. So what I had now was a place to live thanks to one of my guardian angels. I had a decent car thanks to the fact that I was now able to have access to my savings, which I didn't have before. And I was getting to be pretty independent, except for one thing. I couldn't walk very well, but I could walk decently enough. I could walk to the point that with one of my guardian angels, for example, said, well, let's go for walks with my husband. So we went for walks, and everything was good. Everything, as I told you before, I had bought a TV, so I had means of entertainment. Well, I guess something had to happen, maybe, I don't know. What happened was that I went on one of these walks with my friend, my guardian angel, and her husband. And when I got back, whether, I don't know if it was because of one of these walks or because it was time for me to, something was supposed to give. But one morning I woke up and I couldn't move. My back was in a lot of pain. I could only sit down. I had no pain sitting down. But as soon as I tried to stand up, I had to walk bent over, taking very short steps. And now I couldn't walk without my walker. That's the only way that I could walk now. To me, that wasn't walking. So to me, what had happened was from being able to walk, I now couldn't walk. I couldn't use my car, and I was in a lot of pain. So, what now? Well, what happened now is I decided I was going to go to an oncologist. I hadn't wanted to go to an oncologist because I was in death mode, if you will. So we went to the oncologist with the intention that I was going to have some relief to my pain, but he was not going to help me live longer. I went over there, and the oncologist said, "Are you sure you don't want to, take these medications that, I can do something about your pain, but are you sure that you don't want to do something about lengthening your life with the cancer? I'm not going to be able to make the cancer go away, but I can extend your life considerably." And I kept saying, no, if I'm going to be tied to this walker, I don't want to live any longer than I absolutely have to. That I changed my tune, and I can tell you in the next video what happened after I changed my tune. So I hope to see you then. Goodbye.